Welcome into the very first episode of Geek'd Up Bets. I'm Joe DeLeone here with my good friend Sean Anderson. We're two former college football players. We played together at the University of Rhode Island. This show is meant to serve as a hangout spot for you. If you love sports betting and you're just looking for two guys to chill with on Thursday before you go meet up with your buddies at the bar, every single Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be here. 45 minutes to an hour. We're going to be sharing with you the bets that we like. We're going to be building fun, ridiculous parlays. And we're also going to be answering thoughts and questions from you, our listeners. That's going to come a little bit later on. This first episode is just going to be our college football bets and our NFL bets for the weekend, as well as a fun segment that we're going to debut on this very first episode. Sean, you excited?
I am. As much as I love gambling, I love talking about gambling even more.
Yeah, that's the way to put it.
Especially sports gambling. People know I like seeing the ball bounce a little bit in roulette. Who doesn't? I like a little bit of poker. Doesn't even come close to gambling and sports betting on football in football season, especially now when we've got information, when we have data, and it's not just a week 1 to 3 crapshoot. We are in the mix. You either know it or you don't by now, and I'd say we decently know it.
I think that we can pretend that we know it.
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, the pretending is obviously not the case, though. But we are going to be every single Thursday, as I said, live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. This first episode, we are not live for it, but every Thursday going forward, we will be live. And if things go as well as we hope, we might be doing more of these per week. Sean, let's start off with our college bets for this weekend. Week 11 of college football. Not a lot of major big games this weekend. We've got Alabama versus LSU. We've got Missouri versus Texas A&M. Notre Dame's playing Navy, damn it, which I swear to God, if you have a pick for the Notre Dame game, I'm going to have a serious problem with you.
It's a big line.
You better not carry over
It's a big line.
that bit that you do on our other show.
26.5. I didn't like how Notre Dame played against BC.
Did that line move?
I might stay away from it.
All right, so the way that this is going to work, we're each going to give out 3 picks that we like against the spread every single week. We both can't have the same 3 picks. So we're going to alternate here. If somebody steals a pick, you got to come up with a different one. You better have one ready to go. I'll let you go first. I will be cordial here and allow my wonderful friend Sean to give his first pick. What do you got?
You're letting me take the easy one here on the board? I'll take it.
Go ahead.
Indiana giving 14.5 to
Damn
Penn
it!
State. Yeah, that's how it goes.
How are we already starting with this?
'Cause
How are
that's
you
the
already
easy one.
picking?
Because that's the easy one, Joe. It's the Big Ten wagon, Indiana Hoosiers versus the collapsing Penn State football team, and Penn State also.
Piece of garbage.
You need any more data? Any more besides Penn State fired their coach and they stink right now? Besides, how about they're 1-7 against the spread on the season? This team doesn't win. They don't cover, whereas Indiana is an absolute monster. I'm glad I took this one for you. Was this going to be your first pick?
Yeah, it was
of
going to be
course
my
it was.
first pick.
Of course it was. You know why? Because it's a good bet, and it's a good pick.
Sean's a bad person. He
Yeah.
always does this. He always finds ways to win, to steal away the bets that I really, really like for the upcoming weekend whenever we do this bit where we both can't have the same picks. And the other thing that he loves to do is he loves to mush my bets when we're sitting on the couch and watching the games.
That's crazy.
I like this pick a lot. I like the logic that you have there. I think that it's not crazy. It's true, by the way.
Did I mush?
Yeah, you're a major mush. You've always been the biggest mush.
How am I mush when I can't even take a live snipe and that you're saying, oh, I like this game, and I take it live, and then they end up collapsing?
That's happened once this season. That makes you the mush. Wait, hold on. If it collapses on you, that makes you the mush.
You're putting out bad energy on the couch, and it's hurting my live bets. That even if I'm taking in silence, I'm not hitting them.
You're a bad person. I really like this bet, though. It was one of my favorite picks because of everything that you just talked about here. Here's another layer with this. Curt Cignetti is the ultimate vindication man in college football. He is the statement creator in any opportunity that he has to make a statement. Ohio State's the number 1 team in the country. They're probably going to face Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. But you think that Curt Cignetti's not thinking, hey, these fools just played Penn State and they dogged them, but they only won by less than 30 points. Why not come out here and try to win this game by 40? And I really don't think that Grunkemeyer, the quarterback for Penn State, I just don't think that he's going to be able to survive in this game. It might be at home. It might be that home environment might help them a little bit in this performance, but an opportunity for Kurt Cignetti to stick out double middle fingers at Ohio State and also at Penn State. I think he's going to take that chance.
Why is this only 14.5?
I don't know. I don't understand.
Look, you're so in the weeds with college football. I don't know why.
It's got to be branding.
It's 14.5 against Penn State.
It's got to be a brand thing.
Why even throw the hook on, by the way? Why not just set it at 13.5? We don't think it's going to be a 3-score win? Of course it will be. Yeah, I like this bet. I'm happy with it.
This is one of those bets that you're kind of, like you're saying, you're kind of wondering, like, what do the books know that we don't, because that line is very, very close. My first bet that I really like, Auburn plus 6.5 against Vanderbilt. What's that face that you're making?
Go ahead.
You don't like it? You don't like it?
I've heard. Please present.
All right.
Please present.
The fired coach bump is the first important thing that I like here. The circumstance of DJ Durkin taking over for a fired Hugh Freeze. I think that this team is going to rally around DJ Durkin. I also think that DJ Durkin's going to try and pull a little Ed O here and try and see if he can, rally the troops and try to maybe steal this job from any big candidate that might be interested in it. I think that this defense, especially this run defense, is going to challenge Vanderbilt's offense. They're one of the best defenses in the SEC. They are this bad, and their record's this bad, and Hugh got fired because their offense was cheeks. Absolute cheeks. Vanderbilt over the last 2 games has had a lot of trouble running the football. And as a result, they almost lost the Mizzou game, and then we had the whole Prebula injury and all that stuff. And they were trailing early significantly to Texas. Big passing production, but they had to chase. They had to throw, which is something that they're not built to do. I think that this is a spot for a letdown and for Auburn to cover that 6.5-point spread.
This is effectively ending Vanderbilt's season here if they don't win this game. I know you're just taking the plus money spread. I am worried about this. I mean, Vanderbilt is built different in that they haven't had a quarterback. They got an old-ass quarterback. They have some type of fire in that team now also. Auburn has had a disaster of a season. Has it been good?
No, but I would argue that sometimes it takes the little bit of a reset of firing a coach that you start to really rally. Like, if they're gonna play a crazy game and then crap their pants next week. That's what's gonna happen.
I'm just so down on Auburn. Maybe I shouldn't be down on this. I was down on Hugh Freeze, and now that he's
gone.
Yeah, I know.
All the more reason to support it.
Where is he? Pebble Beach right now. I mean,
that's a good question.
Pinehurst.
My cursed bet might be related to a Mr. Hugh Freeze, which is the segment that we're going to be doing at the end of the show. All right, what's your second pick?
My next pick, you were talking about the new head coach bump. I'm going with the injured quarterback non-bump. UCLA given 2.5 versus Nebraska. Nebraska losing Dylan Raiola for the season. Whether you like him, whether you think he's weird, whether you think he's a good quarterback, whether or not you don't. He was a starting quarterback for Nebraska, best starting quarterback for them since Adrian Martinez, and he's been doing well. So you lose that guy, Nebraska's season completely deflates, in my opinion. They weren't necessarily going anywhere far. But now that you're rolling with the backup against UCLA, I don't like it. I like UCLA taking this one.
I like that. I really do. I think that UCLA has shown a lot of fight. I didn't have this on my list of bets, but I like the logic here. You're putting in a very inexperienced quarterback. And Raiola, I know Emmett Johnson's a really good running back, but Raiola has been a big driving force for their offense. Their offensive line's been pretty rough. He does a great job of evading pressure and extending plays. I don't know what to expect. And the big thing here is when Nebraska was playing USC and the injury occurred for Raiola, their offense just was dead. It was a dead body. USC finished off the game because Nebraska couldn't move the ball the minute that Raiola was gone. So I'm in favor of that. I really like the logic there. I like where you're coming from. So I'm not gonna really push back on that one at all. It was not one of the bets that I had listed. Now I'm going to dig into the list of the bets that I don't really love. Texas A&M minus 6.5 against Mizzou. This is on the road. My big driving force for this, Matt Zollers, true freshman, fills in for injured Bo Prabula at quarterback. Now, I really like Zollers. Zollers looked really good for a true freshman when he was asked to play last week. But this is a very different, no, that was 2 weeks ago. This is a very different circumstance than playing Vanderbilt. Tied first in the country in sacks per game is Texas A&M. Cassius Howell is one of the best pass rushers in college football. I think that is a recipe for a disaster for a freshman quarterback. So I think if they win by a touchdown, that is accomplishable. And I don't think this Mizzou team is as good as they're ranked. I think that they're going to fall out of the ranking after this game.
It's a fine pick. This is one of my keep it simple stupid picks. It's 6.5. It's a touchdown.
Oh, did you
Mizzou.
have? Was this one of them?
I had it in my subsection of meat and potatoes. Hey, look, Texas A&M really good. I don't mess around with Mike Elko. I don't think he messes around with anybody. I think that one score win against Mizzou is very, very doable. I think it should be expected from Texas A&M. Mizzou's been fine this year. They haven't done anything that's really got me out of my seat and saying, wow, I really need to start investing a lot of time with Mizzou, or I need to actually start putting some units on Mizzou, whereas Texas A&M, they just keep on showing up. So I'm fine. I'm fine with this pick. It's a good pick, Joe. I can't believe you took this pick.
Why?
It's a bummer because I liked it. I was going to throw this one in there.
What's your last pick that you're taking for college football this weekend?
My last pick, SMU given 10.5 to Boston College. Boston College 4-5 against the spread. Boston College, good team, bad team, Joe, real quick.
Mega shit team.
Okay, yes, thank you. Mega shit team. SMU.
I don't know if we're allowed. I don't know if I checked if we're allowed to curse. We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
I love when that's how that works with.
We really liked
management.
episode 1, but we have one note. What was this? SMU is a very good team this year. They're exciting. Offense is solid. They got a coach that I like and believe in. Boston College, treading water, and they got a big old ankle weight on their ankle, trying to drag them down also. So it's a rough scene in Chestnut Hill. SMU 10.5, it's a no-brainer to me. This is a super simple, easy, good team versus bad team that's reeling play.
I don't mind this at all. I just kind of wonder why it's so close. This is one of those lines where you're just like, what's off here? The one thing I will add here, Jennings did get a little bit banged up at the end of the game against Miami. He finished the game. I'm not suggesting that he doesn't play, but when you're a guy who's the super shifty point guard quarterback and you're a little banged up, what happens? You know, is that gonna hold you back? Is that going to limit the offensive explosiveness? Do you just win by 8 points and then you just kind of skedaddle out of there and you're happy with the end result? It's just something that would be on my mind when I was making that decision.
I hate that you're throwing that in because now it's feeling like, and he wins a good win.
Too late.
Post-game.
It's too late.
God, no.
It's too late. You put
Come
that
on.
down on the board. Can we establish that rule, by the way, if one of us, if you write down the pick and you pitch the pick, you can't change the pick?
Yeah, okay, so no flip-flop,
no
bailout?
There's no bailout. If you sit here and you pitch the pick, there's no going back on the pick.
Well, I'm not going back now. I won't go back now. God, that freaking... Okay, fellas, just lock in. Okay, it's Boston. It's Boston College. Roll through them, please.
We're gonna get the cut in on ESPN at halftime. Where did this come from? Boston College, last second field goal to knock off SMU. That's gonna happen. I can just see it.
It would be even something stupider. Bill O'Brien kicks a field goal to cut the lead to 9, and we just miss it just because he wanted to get points on the board. Jerk off.
Or we'll see that, and then we'll get the bit that happened with Georgia 2 weeks ago, and also with USC, where Georgia, Gunnar Stockton stopped and then kneeled at the 1. The real bad beat. Did you bet on the Michigan State game?
I did.
I bet on Michigan in that game, and Michigan State kicked an unnecessary. No, it was a touchdown. They had like the most unnecessary late score. They were getting dogged. Game was over. And Michigan decided to just go, whatever, you could score your points. It ruined. It was one of the worst beats that I've had the entire season. I don't know why that I'm putting out that bad energy on this game.
Is that because it's not your pick? And that's fine. Here's what I'll ask. It's interesting how that works. Huh?
Yeah.
Is there a way that we can implement a rule into football where if a scoring opportunity is presented to you, you can't go down before the goal line. Because I think it's just inherently not football. I think it's a gross decision. I understand why we're doing it. I understand why teams do it, and it's analytics and preserve the ball and don't give the ball back. I know, but that's not football to me. It really isn't. It feels like checkers.
You could take it up with the commissioner, the non-existent commissioner. Feels like checkers.
I hate that.
They're kneeling in checkers.
I tell you what, you're just making moves, man. Just making moves in checkers. You're not playing the game.
All right, every single week when we do these segments, we are going to do a 6-leg, can't miss, won't miss.
Who's your third
parlay?
pick?
Oh, my third pick. Shit. Texas Tech minus, gotten ahead of myself. I got too excited for the parlay. Texas Tech minus 10.5 versus BYU is my last pick. This game is at home in Lubbock. Texas Tech, when they have Bear Morton, they are a lot steadier team, a much steadier offense. Their loss that they suffered was when Will Hammond was in, so I'm not holding that against him. This is one of those circumstances, and this applies for every game that Texas Tech plays, especially at home. Their pass rush, their defensive line is the best in the conference. It is top 5 in the country. That is not supposed to happen in the Big 12. This is reminiscent of defensive lines that Texas used to have when they were at their peak in the Big 12. I do not think that this BYU offensive line is equipped to handle David Bailey and Romello Height coming after good old Bear Bachmeier. Now, I like Bachmeier. Bachmeier's a dude. He's a true freshman. He plays like he looks and plays like he's been playing college football for 6 years. If you didn't tell me he was a true freshman, I would have told you he's Diego Pavi's cousin. I wouldn't be able to tell you. That dude is a playmaker, and he's a great kid. But I think that this is a really, really hard spot for him, and I got to go with the Red Raiders to cover 10.5.
I get it. It's 10.5, though. BYU's a decent squad. They're a decent squad.
No, they're not. They're the most this happened last year. They're the most overinflated team in college football. Oh, God forbid somebody says something negative about the undefeated team.
They got big wins against Stanford. They got a big win against Colorado.
You got to at least say Utah.
Monster win against West Virginia. Yeah, they beat Utah.
They have a lame-ass strength of record.
Just beat Iowa State, too. Come on.
Iowa State's not good either.
They took down Portland State.
Oh. Yeah, do you actually not like my pick, or you just?
It's fine. The only reason I'm staying, I would ride Texas A&M on this. I would need a smaller line. 10.5 scares me. They do, because BYU just feels like they hate the spread, where they'll do everything in their power to just bust it up and have some late backdoor BS cover, playing slow, controlling the clock, whatever they want to do to mess with the spread. BYU is one of those teams. They've burned me and burned me and burned me. So I don't like going all in on a double-digit spread with them.
All right, that's completely fair. All right, before I got ahead of myself, we're going to backtrack here a little bit. Every single week at the end of our college football and NFL segments, we are going to concoct a 6-leg parlay. Can't miss, won't miss parlay of the weekend. If you want to, you and your buddies do this in the group chat and you want to pitch some of our legs here, feel free to. Fully encourage you. I'm going to start here with the legs, okay?
Sure.
First one, we're going to start a little slow. We're going to kind of ease our way into this, okay?
Oh, okay.
We're going to go Texas Tech money line at minus 375. Keep it a little simple here. I think that at the very least, Texas Tech's going to win. We've got the bet out on Texas Tech to cover. We'll kind of, have a little bit of action in there because we're so confident in Texas Tech, but we're going to get the little odds boost of throwing in a pick that we think is bound to hit.
Yeah, that works. I like the start slow, bound to hit. Let's get it rolling responsibly.
Yeah.
Oregon 6.5 versus Iowa is my next addition. Oregon's a good team.
You throw that in there?
I will throw it in there. It's going to be a slop fest in Iowa. I think it's going to be rain.
Wait, what were the odds on
that? It's going to be wind. 6.5. What, on the money line?
No, not on the money.
Spread 6.5.
Well, the spread 6.5, but what are the odds for it? You don't need it for this first time. We'll just make sure next time you write down whatever the odds are for the pick.
Gotcha.
Like if it's minus 180, whatever you got it at. I don't know what you might have gotten.
I'd figure 110 minus 110 on the line.
Well, I'm gonna throw this into You keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Finish any other analysis that you had.
Minus 110. Yeah.
It was at minus 110?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this into, this is the first time that we're doing this, so I want to have what the full odds are on the parlay so that we can tell you guys what it is. My next pick that I am going to add to the parlay, we're going to continue moving a little slow here. We're going to take FSU plus 102 versus Clemson. I think this Clemson team is pretty ass. I think that Florida State is in a must-win situation. Mike Norvell's seen all these firings happening. He doesn't want to get clipped too. So I think that we need to take Florida State here because it is a must-win game on the road.
Oh, that scares me.
You don't like that I added that one?
I think both these teams are capable of anything, and they have shown tremendous amounts of inconsistency. We're also getting a post-scorched earth Dabo back-to-back weeks about the officiating crews.
That's fair.
In the ACC. I worry about him getting fired up. And you know what? Actually, historically, that used to mean something to me. This year, he's been doing it all year. Maybe Florida State would be. I think Florida State would be my play. These teams just like dicking around, though. My next addition. Do you want to go for some chaos?
Okay. So you're going all the way in. We're still not easing our way in here.
I'm going fired coach bump versus a tremendous team. Over 49.5 at minus 110. LSU versus Alabama.
Wait, one more time?
Over 49.5.
Oh, and the total.
LSU, Alabama, yes.
Oh, I gladly would take that. That feels awfully low, doesn't it?
I'm thinking that new coach, Nussey's going to go out there and start chucking it all over the place. Alabama's just going to keep on rolling their normal offense. Ty Simpson's probably going to have a couple touchdowns. They're going to have a good amount of scoring. I think LSU, Alabama gives us a better game than expected. And you know what that means? That means over's going to hit.
I like that, and I also think that Joe Sloan was such an awful offensive coordinator, and he was so bad at his job, he was holding them back, and we're going to see a complete – just naturally, Kane Womack, the DC for Alabama, is going to be stepping into a really tough spot, not knowing what to expect from this offense. There's nobody knows what they're going to do this week, so I like that one. Okay, my next one, now we're going completely all in, going nuts. Auburn money line plus 200 versus Vanderbilt. Upset of the week. Upset of the week. Give me Auburn money line. Am I ruining things?
I'm going to be taking this in my personal life.
You're going to take a money line?
I'm taking this no, our full parlay. I'll be taking this.
I'm putting it together and I'm going to place this parlay.
Yeah, that's nasty work. Nasty
Why
money
is it
line
nasty?
Underdog versus a BS Vandy team that hasn't cared about who they're playing for the last couple years. Okay, that's fine, Joe. You like this team. That is what it is. This is the lay. We need to keep the vibes up. My final leg.
Okay.
Kennesaw State giving 9.5 to New Mexico State.
Where did you go? That was what you pulled?
Kennesaw State, one of the best teams in the nation against the spread, and they are going to get it rolling. Because you know why? Because I don't want to add another keep it simple, stupid play. I don't want to add Georgia 9.5 versus Mississippi State. I don't want that. I don't
even know what to make of this. I don't know anything about Kennesaw State.
They're a
minus
winner.
9.5.
Minus 9.5. Yeah, they're going to beat New Mexico State by 10.
All right.
They just got bowl eligible. Like, this Kennesaw State team is rolling. New Mexico State, 3 wins, doing pretty poorly.
Okay. Our $5 parlay at plus 5,022 odds wins us $251.10. So that is, we're placing the wager. The can't miss, won't miss parlay of the week. That is what we've got. Who would have thought that we got the Kennesaw State minus 9.5?
I can't believe we're taking Auburn money line.
I'm sorry that you're a coward.
I guess so. You know what? You threw in Texas Tech minus 375 and Auburn plus 200. I guess it evens out if you were to pick a couple plus 150s.
Yeah, we gotta take a little bit of a risk here. We gotta have a little bit of intrigue.
You worry me, DeLeone. You worry me with this parlay.
Reminder to everybody: if you're tuning in on this first episode and you're enjoying the conversation, the bets, the fun, all of it, please subscribe and also do us a favor: comment below. What is your favorite pick for this weekend? Let us know down below who you take him. Is there a pick of ours that you don't like? Let us know in the comments. Call us dumb. I gladly. I call Sean dumb all the time. He calls me dumb.
I'm going to wake up tomorrow and see a bunch of picks I don't like from this. It's all going to change, man.
All right. Let's move on over to the NFL. Here are our best bets for the NFL this weekend. We're going the same as we just did for college. Our 3 picks against the spread, and then we're going to do the can't miss, won't miss NFL parlay at the end. I'm going to start first this time because I let you go first last time. We'll alternate each week, okay?
Sure.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fine.
Browns -2.5 against the Jets. Give me a look there. What's the look?
I'm just listening. I'm just trying to listen patiently.
The Jets just did one of the craziest things that we've ever seen a team do at the trade deadline. Ever. They got rid of everything that they could get rid of. They got rid of one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL in Quinnen Williams. They got rid of one of the best corners in the NFL in Sauce Gardner. Good for them. Going OKC Thunder style. Good for them. But that does not constitute good football. I don't know the history, and I probably should have seen if I could find any data on this. Actually, I don't think we could find any data. Nobody's ever done something like this. Their roster is depleted. I think their spirits are low, and this feels like a Browns game where they eke out a close win. I'm taking the 2.5 points.
Now, we talked about this on the weather hit today. It's going to be a lot of rain, a lot of wind on Sunday.
That doesn't work for Justin.
It's going to be, Justin. Oh, don't call him Justin. Oh, it's Justin Fields to you. Come on. Justin's not an NFL quarterback name alone.
No, it's
I'm
not.
sorry. It has to be Justin Herbert, Justin Fields. That's how it works. I like the Browns in this one. I don't like the Browns against anybody else in the league except for the New York Jets. That was your first pick? Wow, you leave me with my first. Carolina giving 5.5 to New Orleans.
Damn it!
Yeah, of course. It's the best bet of the weekend, Joe. It's the best bet of the weekend in the NFL. Carolina is going to stomp out New Orleans, worst team in the NFL against the spread, 2-7 in their 9 games. 2-7. They don't cover. You know what Carolina does? I'll give you a hint. They cover. 6-3. They are working it. Somehow, this Carolina team that had no expectations going into the season, quarterback questions, head coach questions, where's the depth on defense? All of these questions thrown out the window because they're playing good football. They're not playing great football, but they're playing good enough football to beat the Saints, the lowly New Orleans Saints, by 7. They'll do that. We'll even take 6. I don't need an extra 1.5. They're going to stomp out the Saints.
Yeah, I didn't look at my board. I'm a dummy. I should have been. I was too busy before the show making sure our tech setup was good. I'm making excuses. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Isn't this your bit? Isn't it your bit bet against the Saints?
It is. And also Tyler Shuck is now starting.
Oh, he's solid, right? He's young also too, right?
No, he's 40.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, he's been in the league for a while.
I'm genuinely devastated that I just let you have that one.
Well, you better take the next most obvious one because I'm looking right at it.
Oh, now I'm starting to overthink this.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Are you... Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute.
There's a lot of good lines in the NFL this week, man. A lot of good teams playing bad teams. A lot of good teams playing teams that don't have their starting quarterback.
All right, I'm going to go Lions -8.5 versus the Commanders. That I didn't have that written down, but then it spoke to me. That was one of my parlay. Well, actually, I won't spoil that. Actually, no, it wasn't one of my parlay picks. I am definitely going to take Lions -8.5 against the Commanders. What you just said, Mariota. Look, I think that we've kind of painted him to be a really good backup in the NFL. I think he's solid, but one thing has been pretty clear about this Commanders team. The age of the roster is caught up to it. They're not as defensively sound as they were previously. Their offense just doesn't have another avenue for them to turn to without Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is so gifted that he has elevated this team at a tremendously high level. So I gladly, if this thing is not going to get anywhere over 10 points, I am going to take Lions, -8.5 against the Commanders.
Marcus Mariota is the best backup quarterback in the league for one game, or if he's stepping in mid-game.
Yep.
The second he gets a second start under his belt, he starts going back to Marcus Mariota hero ball, and that's not going to fit the Commanders. Commanders also coming off a short week, playing on Monday Night Football.
Yes.
Getting
Good
stomped
points.
out. No, were they Sunday night?
No, they were Monday
right?
night.
Yeah.
Monday night.
They got stomped out. Wait,
it was Sunday. It was Sunday. Who the heck was on Monday night?
Monday a bad game?
Who the heck was the Monday night game? The Monday night game was bad too. Wait, why am I tripping up?
Yeah,
on
I don't
this?
know. But look, the Commanders are rough this year. 3-6 against the spread. They're not covering. They're not winning a lot of ball games. They don't have the starting quarterback. It's a fine pick, Joe. It's one that I had. But I'm not worried about it.
Oh, it was Cardinals Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that
It was.
disaster.
That was also a bad game.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Okay, my next pick, which I can't believe you skipped over also, giving me another freebie. Buffalo given 9.5 versus the Dolphins. Are you kidding?
The spread's so big, and it's at the Dolphins, and I just don't know. Usually, when we get in this part of the year where this is a weird analysis, you're the weather guy. You've got the team that's coming from the really cold part of the country playing in the really hot part of the country, and the Dolphins have that awful sunbeam setup where you're completely getting baked in the sun. So I don't know if that plays into it, but go ahead, give your analysis.
Let me tell you something about Buffalo. Their fans travel well. Their fans travel better than Baltimore Ravens fans. And the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins after last week's Thursday Night Football game was complaining about the crowd noise from Ravens fans while he was playing at home. Tua is falling apart. He is cracking at the seams. No confidence in this team. They have nothing going. I can't believe they also just dished out Jalen Phillips, one of the best defensive players.
Good point.
So
good point.
They're even more depleted. Quarterback that has had 3 straight weeks with 3 straight major gaffes at the podium, and I'm supposed to think that they're going to hang with Buffalo? No shot. This is the second easiest pick. Maybe best team in the league versus arguably the worst team in the league.
I can't argue with that. I think that is tremendous logic. I just feel like sometimes these divisional games get really tricky, and out of nowhere you peer up and you look at red zone and you're like, why is that game so close? Why is this game 16-17 right now? And why hasn't Buffalo separated? I think there's always that one little trap with a game of 2 teams in the same division.
We got to get the language rules corrected on the show because I'm pocketing a couple ones here.
What do you mean?
Not
cursing at me?
We just
no F word. I think an occasional shit here and there is fine. Nothing that's too graphic.
Sure.
Which I think should be understood.
Yeah. I think this game is going to be graphic. I think Buffalo is going to be real graphic to Miami.
Seahawks -6.5.
Good pick.
Did you want this one?
That's a
Against
good
the
pick.
Cardinals. Look, I know the Cardinals are great on Monday Night Football. I get that they looked like a football team for once against the Cowboys. I think that the Seahawks team is so legit, and I have been so bought in on them. That Sunday night performance was really eye-opening after my eyes had already been wide open. They couldn't be more open. I lost my eyelids. They're gone. Completely gone. You can't find them anymore. I think Sam Darnold and this offense are operating at an elite level. I think that this defense is starting to hit its stride. I'm obsessed with the play that Nicky Midwari had where he blew up that screen.
He's tremendous.
I think that this whole team is about to hit its stride to be like what the Vikings were last year and finish the year with like a 3-loss record. This Cardinals team, the line, you're catching it at a good time because I think enough stupid people are going to think, oh, the Cardinals are great on Monday Night Football. Not so fast. They're playing a bad defense.
Really bad defense.
Like the Cowboys. So give me the Seahawks.
Great pick. Tremendous pick. Seahawks, best team in the NFL against the spread and against the spread margin. So they're not just beating the spread barely. They're smoking it. I think they're upwards of 8 on that, which is really solid. Hey.
I can't do that.
Additionally, Arizona puts Kyler Murray on IR, starting Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett's a good backup. Jacoby Brissett's not going to beat the Seattle Seahawks, and he's not going to throw 3 touchdowns that's needed to be able to challenge them, and the Cardinals' run game is really, really sorry. They are down, I think they're top 3 backs. So you can't throw the ball. You can't run the ball. What are you going to do? They're going to lose to Seattle by more than 7. Good pick, Joseph. My final pick.
All right.
Bears giving 4.5 to the New York Football Giants. Chicago's coming off an emotional, crazy-ass win against Cincinnati that could roll into a more stable, hey, that was fun, let's get back to the basics here and run the rock like we've been doing it well at. Bears, second best run offense in the league. Giants, second worst run defense in the league. You can see a healthy dose of Kyle Monangai coming back to Jersey and just torching it. You think he's comfortable running the Brock in November in New Jersey?
Yes.
Yes, of course he is.
Hell yeah, he is.
He's going to have a monster game. I'm sure Jackson Dart's going to throw a couple picks, not because he's bad, but because Chicago has the number 1 turnover margin per game. They're averaging like 1.6. It's really good. The Bears are crazy. The Bears are disappointing. They are erratic, but they are a better team right now than the Giants. 4.5 is fine with me.
The biggest part about this, the Bears rushing offense is top 10 right now. I forget exactly where they sit. I think they're like covering around 5. One of the best rushing offenses in the NFL. Giants run defense, one of the worst in the NFL. They can't stop anything. There also is a rumor that came out today that Daboll was fired after the Broncos game because ownership was so pissed off, and then the next day they took it back. They apparently
stands at it?
Yeah, they calmed down and they're like, we'll give you a little bit longer. That was what the rumor that came out today. I think it was.
That's crazy.
I think it was Marash who came out with that. Who said that today? Who's a WFAN guy? I believe was who that. So I think that after that happened, yeah, it was Sean Marash who came out with that today.
He's not sticking around even if with Dart. He can't be. Yeah. He's I know he found Dart, and I thought that was a cute argument for a little bit that they were gonna, after the first win that they had together. Now I'm starting to see this kid is better than his head coach, and they need to get somebody that is better than that kid, and then they're actually going to start to blossom.
That's been my whole argument this entire time. But I think that when I read that today, that Marash, WFAN guy, I don't know if it's a real report or not, but he seemed to really stand behind it. I think that you can visibly see that something like that happened. When they played against the Eagles and then they played against the 49ers, the only person who's trying right now is Dart.
Yeah.
Everybody is checked out. And Dart, good credit to Dart for putting in effort. No one is putting in effort right now. It is really very clearly a fractured ship. And we're talking about a 4.5-point spread against a Bears team that's riding high after a game that they weren't supposed to win. Easily would take that.
I should have known better on Dart. The writing was on the wall that he was going to be this good. I mean, playing hard when it doesn't matter. He did plenty of that at Ole Miss, and that.
Well, the problem is that he would play too hard and he would make really, really brutal mistakes. Okay, so our can't miss, won't miss 6-leg parlay for the NFL. I'll start us off with the first leg here that is in the line with that pick. Let's get it a little easier, though. We'll give us a nice little cushion. We'll play it safe. Bears minus 220 money line against the Giants. We're going to throw that down first.
That's fine with me. I'll go with another simple, easy one. Texans money line minus 102 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not worried about them getting Jacoby Myers, Jacksonville. I'm not worried about anything that Jacksonville is doing. I don't think they're a very good team. I think the Texans have been brutalized this year. They have had rough patches. They have had some inconsistencies, but they are a better team than the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just really believe C.J. Stroud is going to elevate in an AFC South matchup. They're going to dog them boys.
All right, can you throw that in there?
Yeah, I'm throwing it in.
My next one, let me just drop mine in there. My next one, Seahawks minus 300 money line against the Cardinals. We already talked about this, why we have a lot of faith in the Seahawks this weekend, why we really like the Seahawks. I like to just kind of throw whenever I build a parlay and I'm trying to build a couple, kind of cushions in there, I like to go with a pick that around 300 odds, one that's around 200 odds, and then I like to get like a plus odds pick to just make it a little bit more exciting. So this one's minus 300. It feels like the one big lock win of the week, the team that's going to win, that's going to get out of that game, and we won't even think twice about whatever the score is.
I'm fine with that. Can I give you a primetime play that I fell in love with?
Go for it.
That is the under in the Steelers-Chargers game. Under-over line is set at 44.5. Chargers just lost Joe Alt to another high ankle sprain.
That's a good point.
Expect Justin Herbert to be under constant duress from the Pittsburgh defense. Additionally, Pittsburgh's offense has been decent. They haven't been world beaters, and the Chargers defense is solid. So we're going to see some turnovers. We're going to see some fumbles. We're going to see a lot of, they didn't capitalize there when they should have. The Chargers are injured to all hell. Pittsburgh, old, frisky, but that does not make for a high-scoring affair.
I'm going to add in here same game. We're going to go Steelers money line at plus 126. Actually, no, wait. No, I take that back. Chargers.
What do you mean?
No, I didn't write it down. Chargers minus 148 money line in this situation. Body clock game. It's an 8:21 kickoff, understandably, but in a lot of situations, oftentimes, when you have a West Coast team hosting an East Coast team in one of these primetime late games, it is an advantage for the West Coast team. So I didn't realize that this was in LA when I wrote this down initially, so we're going to go with Chargers minus 148 money line.
That's fine. Does fallback do anything to that?
Well,
I didn't even know we fell back this weekend.
Neither did I. I woke up feeling refreshed. I was like, "Oh, why do I feel so good right now?"
I felt the exact same. I'm like, I guess an hour slipped in there somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe you need to sleep better. All right. Last one.
It's not that easy on a 50-year-old bed. It's all tough.
It's not a 50-year-old bed that I gave you. It's a decently new bed. All right. Last leg.
My last leg. Oh, this is tough. Okay. Time to make a big decision here between two teams that I like that are favorites against good teams. I will go with Tampa Bay 2.5, giving 2.5 to the New England Patriots. And I would only do that because Drake May had his worst game of the season last week against the Atlanta Falcons, who are about a bag of dog ass. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
very clean of you.
Are very, very good. They're a really solid team. They're coming off a bye. They're still getting healthy. I know. Bucky Irving is still questionable. I know Godwin's still questionable. Even if they aren't, I think they get in Drake May's head. I think Atlanta gave some teams a bit of the script of what to do against May. I don't think it's going to be a lot of the Glazers coming out. Drake May, best deep ball passer in the league. Mark it. Oh, I was so right about Drake May. You weren't. You hated him, and I knew you did also. So there's a bunch of liars surrounding themselves around Drake May.
Is that a very specific person?
Tampa, there's a lot of very specific people that are getting on that bandwagon that don't want to own up what they were saying. But Tampa, really good team. I know we kind of forgot about them because there's been a lot of excitement the last 2 weeks. They're going to roll over New England.
All right, our $5 six-leg parlay gets us at plus 2,175 odds to win $108.80. Let's lock it in. All right. Sean, last segment that we've got here today. We're going to do this every single week. There's lots of fun and crazy things that are happening across the world of sports. And I always wonder, could there be ways that we could bet on said things that are happening in sports that don't always have lines? Some books like to get creative and put lines out for things. So I figured, why don't we create our own prop bets? This segment is called Cursed Prop Bets. Fake prop bets that we're putting together based on headlines that are happening in the news. So my cursed prop bet of the week, and I would like to get your pick on this, over under 6.5. The amount of times that Hugh Freeze, the fired Auburn head coach, has asked his wife if he's allowed to go golfing yet.
Okay. Definitely the over. But
you think he's gotten that many in this week? It hasn't even been 5 days.
Oh yeah, I think he probably went and saw the course before he saw his wife after the. Good.
You good? Oh, you almost made it through the whole show. We almost had you.
I'm dying.
We're almost done.
I think he met with the grounds crew, and he met with the starter before he met with the old lady back at home. After the firing, because that's his passion.
You don't think he called his wife? He just showed up there and sat at the bar and talked to
call her. Why is he calling her? What's he calling her for? Hey, honey, I did it again. Got fired. I got paid a bunch of money though. That's just I can save a good phone call for whenever I want to. Hey, what am I getting a bunch of money to not do anything? Yeah, this is impressive. It's not like
He was at the driving range before he made his way home.
It would be a very different conversation of us calling our loved ones after a firing versus Hugh Freeze or other college coaches. They're sitting here like, oh, well, my life is completely open. I have achieved peak freedom. Why am I picking up a phone for anybody? Yeah, maybe actually under. I don't think he probably threw his phone away.
So you think he just did it without asking?
Yeah.
He comes off as somebody that might need a lot of permission to do things from his wife. I feel like that he's one of those people that his wife might be getting mad at him because he acts a little bit too roguely. This is a layer of the whole golfing story with him that I don't think enough people talked about. The real victim in this is his family that he's not seeing with the very little free time that he has available to him. Nobody's talking about this. I was reading this article. John Talty wrote this great article this week, and I turned it into a video for the Sports Geek vertical channel on TikTok. And in the article, apparently there were times where he would just show up and watch guys at the driving range. Like he would be spotted
That's his
on
passion.
Sundays.
He should just go into
standing
golf.
there watching people. He seriously should. I think he's got a pretty good handicap. He could go for the pro, the senior tour.
Look, it's okay to admit you fell out of love with football and found a new passion. That's not a problem with me.
We got to stop giving these big contracts out, by the way. I think that there's a real problem with a lot of these coaches getting these big contracts and thinking they're set.
Yeah. The second an SEC team goes and picks a coach out of Nowhereville and is paying him $500K a year, then we're looking at a reset.
That's what
a big SEC team. LSU needs to go get an FCS guy and pay him some peanuts and say, hey, look.
Figure it out.
You said you could do it. All these coaches think they can come in and do it. Well, we're not going to put $100 million into a guy. Not happening.
All right, your cursed prop bet of the week.
My cursed prop bet going to a new player in the league that introduced himself. That's the player that goes by 9. Have you heard about 9?
No.
Oh, he just goes by 9, and that is J.J. McCarthy's alter ego. So, yeah, let's do a 9 prop bet. That is 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So it'll be all 3 gets us to 9 for Mr. 9, who is the demonic hardo alter ego of J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota.
I'm not off on that. I actually fully support this. So you're more so just pitching. That's the prop bet that we're taking. We're taking that. That's
all in on
hit.
9. Full top to bottom.
999.
Yeah.
333.
300, 3 and 3. That's what I'm looking at for Mr. 9. Fake demon.
The world of J.J. McCarthy, the lore behind him, is one of the most strange things that has happened in the NFL. We have this guy who is getting hyped up to be an MVP candidate. People are calling him the next Tom Brady because of a video of him after the game where he played poorly. He played really bad. I don't know what to make of him. Actually, I do know what to make of him. He hasn't proven anything. He's not good at the current moment.
Dude, it's a fake demon. Quote, 9 comes out and I got to understand he can't be at his peak performance throughout 3.5 hours. Then you don't have an alter ego.
Wait, that was the quote? I didn't see this.
So how do I find little ways on the sideline to get back to my breath? Go screw. George Kittle's got an alter ego. George Kittle's got a tattoo with a Joker on him, and that's his alter ego. You think he switches that off during the game? No. Get back to your breath. I'm sure 9's a demon. I'm sure that's the guy you want. What a joke.
That's a pretty good one. All right. That was our very first episode of Geeked Up Bets. Joe DeLeone, Sean Anderson, please hit the subscribe button. Comment below what are your favorite bets of the week. We're going to be back and live this coming Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Talk to you guys later. Enjoy your weekend.